is just a purely false stated reason.
Employment lawyer Michal Shinar says the reason Trump's team has been citing performance in firings is because by law, probationary federal workers can only be removed for performance or misconduct.
We don't let an agency get around these congressional directives by just terminating our probationary employees and mass claiming it's performance when it's not.
They're firing every probationary worker with rare exceptions. They're saying that performance is below standards and firing probies, so they can't file for reinstatement via the MSPB.
She says the situation is ripe for class action lawsuits, while Trump officials insist these cuts are just a drop in the bucket. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy posting last night, quote, the FAA alone has a staggering 45,000 employees. Less than 400 were let go.
Oh, my God.
We're still waiting for the exact numbers of cuts at most other agencies like the CDC and NIH. Nate?
We will stay tuned. Nancy, thank you.
Isn't there already a shortage at the FAA? Why do this now?
I want to look at something, okay? Number of federal government employees in, or let's see, year over year. The size of the federal workforce has grown from 1.8 million in 2019 to 2 million in 2023. But there was a time and place where I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but the federal workforce number was certainly larger, despite the fact that the American population has been growing. Yeah, in the 1950s, the federal government employed 1.4 million people. Oh, this is an AI overview. What the Oh, God, why is there so much? In the 1960s, that's incorrect. God damn it, AI overview. What the fuck is this number, bro? Look at this AI overview. Thank you, Google. In the 1950s, the federal government employed 1. Like, what is this number, dude? It's not even 1.4 million. It's 1,433,753,686.485 people. I fucking hate AI so much. Okay. Yes. Thank you. The number of federal employees peaked in the 1990s at 3.4 million. Okay. God damn it. AI is so stupid. Here, this is what I was actually looking at. Okay. From the 1940s onward, obviously in 1943, there was one big peak at 3 million. And the peak of federal employment in 1990 was 3.4 million. And since the 90s onward, we have slashed the federal workforce in spite of the fact that the number of our civilian population has grown, okay? Our population has grown dramatically overall. So the federal civilian employee per population, per capita, has gone down, okay? So we have more people and less federal employees in that process. The little spikes are temporary census workers, yeah. But overall, it grew and grew and grew, and it was around 3 million, I guess. And then since then, it has just gone down. Bill Clinton had a drawdown on federal staffing due to the Cold War. Reagan also had fired people, Patco workers, etc. 300 to 400,000 people were fired under Clinton. But the news is saying what Trump is doing is the same as Clinton. It patently isn't. Yeah, I mean, what Clinton did wasn't also great either, for the record. I hope you understand. So the government is more efficient now. It's more efficient in terms of obviously readily available technology. Readily available technology makes every workforce more efficient. Like, what else has happened since the 90s? We have mass usage of the internet. We have smartphones. Obviously, it's more efficient, as in one person can do the job of many in significantly less time. That's efficiency. We have computers. Technological advancements unironically make things more efficient. But in that process, you're not supposed to fire the existing workforce. You're supposed to reduce their burden. You're supposed to reduce their workload. But of course, we don't operate like that because we're constantly min-maxing. But especially when you pair this up with the explosive growth of the American population in that same time frame, you start realizing that perhaps we don't have enough employees for all of these jobs. And when you don't have enough employees for these jobs, you have your service overall. That's it. And what a lot of people fail to understand is that, for example, when you go to the DMV and the service is even like the person that's working at the DMV, for example, is just angry all the time, seemingly, and you have to wait for hours. That is not because the government sucks. That's because they don't have enough employees. That's it. It's always because of understaffing. I'll give you one example. Luggage handlers. Luggage handlers is a great example. Airlines know full well when they're overloading their existing labor force, okay? But because of efficiency and because of cost-cutting measures, because labor is the most malleable aspect of all commodity production, they just simply don't hire enough luggage handlers. So when you go to the airport and you're like, why the is my luggage not coming out? What the hell's going on? Why do I have to wait an hour and a half? I missed my transferring flight. I missed my connecting flight. What is happening here? That is literally because the luggage handlers are overloaded, understaffed, and are doing output as a consequence of that. You just see the service there and you think, oh, these lazy pieces of these lazy luggage handlers, man, they suck. But the reality of the matter is the reason why at the point of service, the reason why you're experiencing this awful service is directly due to the company making these decisions at the behest of profit, especially because most airlines, like in domestic air travel in the United States of America, it's basically an oligopoly. And in some markets, it's basically a monopoly. So what are you going to do? Not fly to your destination when it's the only method of travel? What are you going to do? No, you have to sit there frustrated and wait. That's how it works. But because we are so primed into thinking that it's actually our fellow workers that are responsible for these issues individually because of their ineptitude, incompetence, lack of care, lack of interest, laziness, or whatever, we never truly understand who is at fault. And it's a very frustrating process. When the lines of the grocery store are too long, it's the employee's fault. When the line of the post office is too long, it's because the government's bad. I mean, when the line at the post office is too long, it's still a direct consequence of the same exact thing that we were just talking about. The line at the post office is long because the post office is understaffed. Everything is understaffed. These guys are still actively advocating for more understaffing. It's not the employee's fault at the grocery store. It is still understaffing. So it's technically the people that are in charge of those decisions that have caused this service to be worse overall.
Especially considering what's happened in the States, and now, of course, you have this other incident and a few others.
Yeah, well, this one happened in Canada, but
yes.
I can only tell you what the Secretary of Transportation says. There are 45,000 employees at the FAA. We're talking about fewer than 400 people, and he says 0 air traffic controllers and critical safety personnel were let go. So if that's true, I don't really have a problem with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I love this dipshit, okay? I remember reading somewhere, I think it was like, it might have been like Felix or maybe Edinger Mentum, it was like, Scott Jennings is the perfect person for this administration because he's such a shameless, slimy asshole who will just sit there and be like, well, the marginal victory that the Trump administration had at a time of like historic inflation against a historically unpopular cadaver seemingly gives Donald Trump the heavens mandate, the popular mandate to do all of these like staff cuts. It's so annoying. Like, no, you don't have momentum. You do not have motion. You do not have popular mobilization, especially for cutting Social Security, okay?
I do like the idea of keeping the people who are in the direct chain of command of safety and the air traffic control system and so on and so forth. But I have a hard time believing that there is a single government agency.
Yeah, I had this exact, nice bathroom, you're 100% correct. We had this exact same conversation with Twitter, okay? Remember when Twitter employees were laid off? The conversation is the same. They were lazy and not innovating anyway, so what's the loss? Exactly. Twitter as a product is legitimately worse. Like, I don't know how you can't recognize that. And I told you, like, Twitter is a perfect example of the government, okay? It's like one for one. Twitter, when it was run by woke liberals or whatever, right? It still sucked. There were still plenty of issues, but at least it was a more competent product that you could consume, okay? And then Elon Musk came in and gutted the entirety of the staff. Look where we're at now. Like, it still works. Like, the skeleton is still there, and it still kind of works. There's still major issues all the time. So people go, oh, dude, it's fine. What are you talking about? Every aspect of Twitter is awful. It got significantly worse than the Twitter of the past when it was run by at least like to some degree of competency by liberals.
An agency that doesn't have a bloat of administrative personnel that we could probably do without. And I think that's why a lot of voters are happy that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are finally going through the federal government and trying to take out some of this bureaucracy that we probably just don't need. So I'm reading to you what Sean Duffy says. He's the Secretary of the Transportation. I have no reason to doubt his numbers.
Karen, when you hear this, I mean,
Yeah, he knows best. Scientists, woke and gay, they don't know best when they're talking about their specific field of research.